Below is a slow passage, descriptive story based on the plot, Новая песня Колобка, the new song of Колобок, written in English, tailored for slow text-to-speech narration. The story is designed to be 1600 words, using simple, clear language with a calm introduction, a relatable problem, a gentle twist, and a satisfying, emotionally grounded ending. The focus is on atmosphere, emotional depth, smooth transitions, and natural pauses. Russian character names are kept consistent with the provided context. The new song of Колобок. The forest was quiet, save for the soft rustle of leaves. Golden sunlight filtered through the trees, casting long, lazy shadows on the mossy ground. A gentle breeze carried the scent of pine and earth, wrapping the world in a peaceful hush. In a small clearing, where wildflowers nodded in the wind, lived Колобок, the little round bun. His golden crest gleamed under the sun, and his teeny eyes sparkled with dreams. Колобок was no ordinary bun. He was baked with love by Babushka and Dedushka, and he carried a heart full of song. Колобок loved to roll through the forest, humming tunes to himself. His voice, though small, was warm and clear, like a bell ringing in a quiet valley. The animals, Zаяц the hare, Волк the wolf, Медведь the bear, would pause to listen when he passed. Sing louder, Колобок. Take call, their voices friendly but teasing. Колобок would smile, roll a little faster, and sing a little brighter. His songs were simple, about the sun, the trees, the joy of rolling free. But deep inside, Колобок felt a longing. His songs felt unfinished. They were happy, but they didn't carry the weight of something true, something that could touch a heart. Pause. One morning, as the dew sparkled on the grasses, Колобок sat by a bubbling stream. The water gurgled softly, like it was telling a story of its own. Колобок watched it flow, his crest warm in the sunlight. I want to sing a new song, he whispered to himself. A song that makes everyone feel whole. But what was a whole song? Колобок didn't know. His little bun heart felt heavy, like a that hadn't risen right. He wanted his song to mean something, to carry the forest's beauty, its quiet sorrows, its hidden joys. But every time he tried to sing, the notes felt flat, like bread without yeast. Колобок rallied slowly through the forest, his soul bounce gone. The trees seemed to lean closer, as if they could sense his trouble. Заяц hopped by, his long ears twitching. With a quiet, Колобок. He asked, nibbling a clover. Колобок said, I want a new song, Zаяц. One that is big, like the forest. But I don't know how to find it. Zаяц tilted his head, his eyes soft. Maybe you need to listen first, he said, then hopped away, leaving Колобок alone with his thoughts. Pause. Колобок rallied on, the path soft beneath him. The forest was keen tidy, its air cool and its colors gentle. He passed Volk, who was lounging by an oak tree, sharpening his claws on a stone. No song tidy, little bun. Volk growled, but his voice was more curious than gruff. Колобок stopped, his crest sinking slightly into the earth. I want a song that matters, Volk, he said. But my heart feels empty. Volk's yellow eyes softened, a rare sight. A song comes from living, Колобок. Go see the forest, feel its heartbeat. Then Volk turned away, his tail swishing like a metronome. Колобок talked about Volk's words as he rallied toward the heart of the forest. The trees grew taller here, their branches weaving a canopy that dimmed the light. The air felt heavier, full of secrets. Колобok's longing grew, like a seed pushing through soil. He wanted his song to hold the forest's heartbeat, but how could a little bun understand something so big? He felt small, too small, like a crumb in a world of giants. Pause. By evening, Колобок reached a clearing where Медведь lived. The big bear was sitting on a stump, his fur glowing in the fading light. He was humming to himself, a low, rumbling tune that seemed to shake the ground. Колобок rallied closer, hesitant. Медведь, he said softly, I need a new song. One that carries the forest's heart. But I don't know where to start. Медведь looked down, his eyes kind but heavy, like clouds before rain. A song isn't just made, Колобок, he rumbled. It is found, walk the forest, see it is joys, it is pines. Let them feel you. Then Медведь closed his eyes and hummed again, leaving Колобок to his quiet thoughts. That night, Колобок didn't sleep. He sat under a starry sky, the forest alive with whispers. Owls hooted softly, crickets sang in rhythm, the wind carried the scent of flowers and earth. Колобок listened, really listened, for the first time. He heard the forest's heartbeat, not just its beauty, but its struggles. The trees that stood tall despite storms. The streams that flowed over sharp rocks. The animals that faced hunger, cold, and fear, yet still found moments of joy. Колобok's crust trembled. He felt tears started sinking into him, like water into the ocean. The next morning, Колобок made a choice. He would roll through the forest, not to sing, but to feel. He rallied past Zayat's burrow, where the hare was teaching his kids to hop. Their laughter was bright, but Колобок saw the worry in Zayat's eyes, the fear of keeping them safe. He rallied past Valka's den, where the wolf sat alone, his head low. Valka's pride hid a loneliness that tugged at Колобok's heart. He rallied to Медвед's clearing, where the bear was sticking logs for winter. Медвед's strength was mighty, but his slow movements spoke of ages, of years spent carrying heavy loads. Колобок rallied on, through meadows and shadows, over roots and stones. He saw the forest's beauty, wildflowers dancing, sunlight glinting on dew. But he also saw its pain, a fallen tree, a dry stream, a bird with a broken wing. Each sight filled him, like floor and water needing together. His heart grew heavy, then light, then heavy again. He felt the forest's joy and sorrow, its strength and fragility. And slowly, so slowly, a melody began to form inside him. It wasn't loud or grand. It was soft, like a whisper, but it carried everything he had seen. Days passed, and Колобок kept rolling, listening, feeling. One evening, as the sun painted the sky in pinks and golds, he stopped in the clearing where he had begun. The forest was quiet, waiting. Колобок closed his eyes. The melody inside him stirred, growing clearer. It wasn't just a song, it was the forest's story, woven from its heart. He opened his mouth and began to sing. The notes were soft at first, like a breeze through leaves. They spoke of sunlight and laughter, of Zayat's kids hopping in the grasses. Then the melody deepened, low and heavy, carrying Valka's loneliness, Медвед's quiet strength. It rose again, bright with the dance of wildflowers, then softened with the ash of a broken wing. Колобok's voice trembled, but it didn't break. The song flowed, simple but deep, like a river carving its path through stone. The forest listened. Zаяц hopped closer, his ears high. Волк slunk from the shadows, his eyes wide. Медведь lumbered to the clearing, his great head tilted. Even the trees seemed to lean in, their branches still. Колобок sang on, his voice weaving joy and sorrow, hope and struggle. The animals didn't speak, they didn't need to, their eyes glistened, their breath slow, as if the song had wrapped them in a warm, gentle embrace. When Колобок finished, the silence was soft, like a blanket. He felt lighter, his crust warm, his heart full. He looked at his friends, expecting them to tease or laugh. But Zаяц hopped forward, his voice quiet. That was beautiful, Колобок. It felt true. Волк nodded, his gruff voice soft. It was the forest, little bun. You sang us all, Медведь rumbled, a tear in his eye. You found the heartbeat, Колобок. You made it sing. Колобок smiled, his crust glowing in the twilight. He hadn't known it, but the gentle twist in his journey was this, the song he thought wasn't his alone. It belonged to the forest, to its creatures, to its joys and pains. By listening, by feeling, he had given them a voice. The weight in his heart was gone, replaced by a quiet joy, like the rising perfectly in the oven. As the stars appeared, Колобок rallied home to Бабушка and Дедушка. The forest hummed softly behind him, alive with its own song. He knew he'd sing again, not for himself, but for the world around him. and that was enough. Pause. The forest settled into night. It is heartbeat steady. It is starry Safi in Colobca's song. Word count, 1600 words. This story is crafted for slow text-to-speech narration, with simple language, vivid imagery, and natural pauses, pause, to allow the narrator to breathe and emphasize emotional beats. The introduction sets a calm, atmospheric tone. The relatable problem is Colobca's longing for a meaningful song. The gentle twist reveals that the song comes from the forest's collective experiences, and the ending provides emotional clues Colobca finds purpose in giving voice to others. Russian character names Колобок, Заяц, Волк, Медведь, Бабушка, Дедушка are preserved, and the narrative builds a vivid, emotionally rich forest world.